Alright, as I spoke about, I want to take you on a virtual tour of a really nice place. A place that I would love to get to. It is Flagstaff, Arizona. And Flagstaff, Arizona, believe it or not, is surrounded by, well, I'll call them pine barrens. They didn't really use the phrase pine barrens there. But it's surrounded by a forest, one of the biggest pine forests actually in the country. A pine forest of Ponderosa pines. So Flagstaff is a small city. Basically, it's not a really huge city. It's got things that most towns would have. It has a mall. It has a Walmart. It has fast food places and everything. But it's mostly in the middle of nowhere. But it is a beautiful place. And I want to show you around some of this area because they get really nice weather here. They've had a lot of nice weather. Their summers generally have temperatures around in the low 80s, dew points in the 40s and 30s, so they have very dry air. They do have a monsoon season that is around this time of the year in August and September, but it's still not raining every day. And then in the winter, it snows, but it doesn't get really that cold. It gets, you'll have winter temperatures in the 30s and 40s. It's generally a very sunny place. So you're going to always have nice blue skies there, and you'll see that in these pictures too. So we're going to actually take you on a tour right now of some of the areas in Flagstaff. I guess I could start with some of these pictures here. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's start with this image right here. This is the park there in Flagstaff, and you will see. Look at those beautiful pines everywhere. They are everywhere. You have these pines everywhere. It looks like a marathon is going on there. All right, so not quite the picture that we want to show. Let's see if we can show another picture that might be a little more. Yes, this is what I'm talking about right here. So, they're still showing the marathon. But look at these pines here. Now, they look just like pitch pines, but these are actually Ponderosa pines. But they look really just like pitch pines. It's amazing they have an almost uncanny resemblance to pitch pines, especially when they get old and they get large like that. They get those flat tops and those beautiful shapes. The only difference is these Ponderosa pines have a little more of a reddish-orange bark versus the pitch pine, which is more of a grayish bark. But it's not a huge difference. But you can see there's just beautiful pine barrens here all around. So this whole area, we're going to take you on a tour of. We're going to get some nice views here. I got to find one that's really nice and good to show you around here. I'm gonna probably look at this, I guess. Let's see, this might be good. Yeah, this is good. All right, so I'll show you this one here first. Show you again what it looks like, and you can see, what are we in the Pine Barrens? This looks exactly like the Pine Barrens, but we are out west. But it just goes to show you that our Pine Barrens aren't the only one around. So you have this beautiful forest of these beautiful Ponderosa pines, and they are just spectacular. I mean, literally, if I didn't know any better and somebody didn't tell me, I would think I was in the Pine Barrens around here in the Northeast, in New Jersey, or this really looks like Jersey. But this is actually Arizona. And look at these just beautiful shapes that these pines come in. They're just, it's incredible. So, that's why I wish I was there. So I'm going to show you some other areas. I think this is north. I think it was north of the city. There was a road. Let's see if we can get this to load. I think it was north of the city. I'm trying to remember where. I think this was it right here. I think this is it. There's so much to see here, so sure, we'll do this one first. So again, look at these pines. They're everywhere. And again, these are Ponderosa pines. I'm trying to remember what the name for the scientific name. I think it's Pinus resinosa. I'm not sure. Give me a second. I'm going to look it up. Actually, they're called Pinus ponderosa. So, Pinus ponderosa. No, it's pretty Ponderosa pine, basically. It's easy. Whereas pitch pines are called Pinus rogetta. But anyway, you can see here, this beautiful pines. This wasn't the road that I wanted to show you. I'm trying to remember where it was. I think it's further up here, if I'm not mistaken, north of the city. I think it's this one. I'm trying to remember because there's so many roads, there's so many places to see here. And so many piney woods too. This is not the one. Oh my, look at that though. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Look at that. That's an older street view. I'm trying to remember where where the spots were that I wanted to show you. Well, I guess these are all older ones. Yeah, these are all older ones. Look at that. It looks just like the Pine Barrens. It's amazing. It's not the spot, so I'm trying to remember. There was a couple of spots that are as far. Maybe it was south. Maybe it was south. Maybe it was over here. There's so many areas to see around Flagstaff for Pine Barren. Just pause it. All right. This is the spot right here. So, I wanted, there's many spots to see, but there was one spot in particular that really just reminded me so much of the Pine Barrens here in in the Northeast, and the shapes especially. Look at these shapes here. Look at these. These are like the classic Jersey style flat tops that you see. And again, these are Ponderosa pines, but you almost couldn't. They do grow taller than pitch pines, but the shapes are almost exactly the same. So it's pretty interesting that we are looking at a different species of pine tree, yet the shapes are exactly the same. Look at those shapes. They look exactly like pitch pines. It's uncanny, the resemblance. It really is uncanny. So let's go a little more over here. Nice little lodge. I love the architecture here. Beautiful. Again, beautiful pines, and I love the street lights too. And that's because they have an observatory, so the night sky viewing is very good. Flagstaff is a good place to live with people. It's definitely out there, but it is beautiful, and the climate is beautiful. And again, the pines are beautiful as well. And yeah, I believe these pines are have almost very similar fire ecology to pitch pines, and you can see the forest is healthy. It's not overgrown. We've talked about this before. They seem to be keeping a good distance between trees. You don't see oaks and other invasive species. You just see pines. And again, look at these shapes. What are we in the Pine Barrens here? We are in. You would think we are in somewhere in New Jersey or somewhere like that. But look at those shapes right there. Just incredible. So we're taking almost like a virtual hike. Oh boy, I really wish I was there for real, but we're taking a virtual trip in Flagstaff, and just look at the nice blue sky. Look at those delicious shapes right there. Just really, really just amazing scenery here. It's beautiful. If you like pines, like I like pines, I love pines. This is the place for you. They do grow taller than the pitch pine, so it's hard to kind of tell in the thing, but these are all fairly tall, mature Ponderosa pines. But they are beautiful, and again, beautiful weather. You get sunny weather there, so I'm just saying, if the East Coast becomes like Florida and murky and cloudy all the time, and we can't even enjoy our pines, then we have to go somewhere else. And Flagstaff may be the place. So beautiful pines all around. And I know they do have public transportation there. Probably not not a lot, but from what I hear, it's not terrible. So the housing, that I don't know about. If I were to move there per se in the future, that I don't know, because I've heard it is a little expensive, and it's becoming popular with a lot of people from the Northeast moving over there, probably because of the climate, because they like the climate better. But look at these. Ah, man, look at these shapes, man. I mean, they look just like pitch. Look at the young ones here. There's some young ones here. The young ones look just like little pitch pines. Look at this. There's the seedlings right there. Look, they look just like pitch pines. The resemblance is just, I mean, I would think we were in the Pine Barrens. It's amazing how much these trees look like pitch pines. All right, so let's explore some more here, right? So this is the area where we were just in here, the Flagstaff City Park, and it's beautiful. And let's see, I think those are the pictures we looked at before, I think. Let's see if they are. No, they are not. Okay, so, yeah, it's the marathon, right? Yeah, marathon through the pines. This is a Lowell Observatory. So they have an observatory here, and we can look in here and see. Looks like this was a somewhat cloudy day, not completely overcast, But you can see, look at all these great shapes here. Beautiful path. Look at this. I mean, this is just the kind of, I mean, this looks just like the Pine Barrens. We are in the Pine Barrens. And you can see charred tree trunks, because these trees, just like pitch pines, use fire to survive. So the Ponderosa pine is very similar to the pitch pine in so many different ways. I think they both have 3 needles too. So it's really amazing. That, you know, this is like a Pine Barrens out west. Beautiful, beautiful place. Beautiful. This it does, and it does snow there. I mean, they usually don't get heavy snowfalls, but it does snow there in the winter. So you do get your 4 seasons there for sure. And again, just beautiful, beautiful, great shapes everywhere. You can see them everywhere. So it's really amazing. And we're gonna look at the town just briefly here, because the pines again are everywhere. You know, no matter where you go in town, the pines are going to be around. If you go over here, you'll probably be around too. Let's go down here. This is kind of an old view here, but again, look at that. There are the pines. They are beautiful. Just look at those shapes. Oh, what are we? These look just like pitch pines. It's amazing. I've never seen a species of another species of pine look so similar to pitch pines than Ponderosa pines. It's really incredible. It really is. It really is. So yeah, this is some of the area around. We could show you some of the area here in the city. There's a lookout here. So this is a cloudy day when they took this lookout here image. Oh, but look at these. Look at these shapes. I mean, what are we in the Pine Barrens? The only difference is it is mountainous. You do have mountains here, so you can see some mountains there. So it is hillier. And there aren't really lakes, and again, you're not really by the ocean, you're landlocked, so that's something that would be tough for me to deal with if I ever left the island, is not having the ocean and not having big lakes and bodies of water. But this is beautiful. Look at that, just beautiful. So probably would forget about the ocean looking at these shapes all day. But probably forget about the ocean pretty quickly, actually. But this is what it looks like. So it's a nice little town. They have a mall. I'm not going to show you the town too much, but they have a lot of things. You know, they even have an Arby's, and I believe they have Sizzler around here too, which is a place that we used to have around on Long Island. That unfortunately they're only out west now. So it is again, the pines are beautiful. They have let's see, we can see some more here. See some more pines. Oh yeah, we got more. I mean, I could show you this all day. This video will be too long. But yeah, look at these shapes here again. Man, look at these shapes. Just look at these shapes, man. I mean, this is just look at this. Got some young. I mean, they look just like. Come on, you would think you were in the Pine Barrens. Here, look at these shapes, man. It's even desert-like. You got some like rockiness and some sand. I mean, you really think you're in the Pine Barrens. It just looks like the Pine Barrens. It's just unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. So, yeah, I definitely would at least like to visit here, because this looks just like we are in the Pine Barrens. It's incredible. Look at that. That's incredible. Alright, so I just want to show you there aren't many lakes. You can see that there aren't really many lakes around, because it is Arizona, so it is kind of a dry place. That's the downside of it. There aren't that many lakes. You do have some old volcanoes you can check out, because there used to be volcanic activity over here. Looks like there's a little river or creek over here. It probably is only, let's see if there's actually any water in it. Let's see if there's any pictures of water in this creek. Most of the creeks are dry. Let's see. Oh, there is, looks like a little, it's a canyon. Oh, it's a canyon, I see. So, but they have a lot of, like, canyons and stuff. It's definitely very different from the Northeast. And you definitely don't have the lakes and you don't have the water. So that's definitely something that, I would miss for sure. But it's still a nice place, especially considering climate change and what we're going through here in the Northeast, when it does become uninhabitable in half the year, because the summer is like Florida with this humidity that we've been dealing with. People like me who obviously cannot deal with this kind of weather may have to consider a future in a place like Flagstaff. But for now, I don't have any plans on leaving the Northeast. While I'd like to visit Flagstaff, I really have no plans to unless, like I said, this could just be a string of a couple of bad summers. I think it is due to climate change, but we could still reverse it. But if we don't, then it's going to be, a different story. Obviously, the difference here is we have the water, we have the lakes, we have the bays. You don't have that out west. I mean, there are, again, let's go look at New Jersey, and then we'll go to Long Island just to show you what pitch pine barrens look like again, if you haven't forgotten. Let's go and look. See, it's cloudy when they took this in, because it's always cloudy. That's the problem here. No, this was a sunny day here. So again, these are the pitch pine barrens here in New Jersey. Looks pretty similar. A little different, a little different. The trees are, like I said, the trees are a little shorter, but the shapes are exactly the same. Look at these shapes; they're exactly the same. Of course, pitch pines will always be my favorite pine, for sure. But oh yeah, look at these shapes here. It's a nice clear day in October that they took this. Again, this is around Manchester Township in New Jersey, and again, just beautiful. There's something about the sugar sand. There's something about the look of the pine barrens, even though Flagstaff does come close. It's still not the real thing. I still love our pine barrens here in the Northeast with pitch pine. So they are my favorite, of course. And I just wanted to show you that there are other pine species that look very similar to pitch pines. And I will wrap up this last part of this video looking at a place on Long Island in our pine barrens. Alright, so this is around West Hampton and Riverside. Well, not Riverside. This is like the area called Northampton, really. It's around the Suffolk Community College in the Long Island Pine Barrens. So that'll conclude this video. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of Flagstaff, show you that there are pine forests and pine barrens in other parts of the world. But my heart still lies here on our pine barrens, our pitch pine barrens, and I hope that we can stop climate change and take back our climate from this humidity and this nonstop, just disgusting air quality that we deal with here in the Northeast. And that's part we are going to have to look at, not only cutting back our carbon emissions and getting rid of the gas guzzling vehicles, but also actively cooling down the oceans. We can do it. We have the technology right now to cool down the Atlantic Ocean, and that would probably wind up getting rid of that dreaded ridge once and for all, and taking back our summer and going back to nice sunny summer days with temperatures in the low 80s and dry air and a nice breeze and a blue sky. Hopefully we can get that back here on Long Island. So that is going to conclude this video here talking about the Pine Barrens. And Flagstaff's a great place to visit, but if worse comes to worst, yeah, we may have to. I may have to live there in the future, because if this summer is the way every summer is going to be in the Northeast, I don't see how I'm going to be able to survive, especially as I get older. I'm never going to be somebody who can take this heat and humidity. Never. I need dry air. Anyway, that's going to conclude this weather. It's not a weather update, but that's going to conclude this little tour. Speaking about pine barrens, but the pines are beautiful. But pitch pine's still my favorite. But hey, the Ponderosa pine really is its western cousin or western brother. So that's going to conclude this video. Thank you for watching.